everyone, and welcome to Live, Laugh, Learn TV. I'm Dr. Carol Morgan.
I'm Jeff Lauterbach. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So this is another interesting topic. It's not necessarily fun for anybody, but we're going to talk about breakups. Talk about a lot of different aspects of breakups, not only how to handle them and how to move on, and what do you do if your ex is still on your Facebook page or your Facebook friend, all that kind of stuff. So, we've all been through breakups, and, no one's ever broken up with me, but no, I'm kidding.
I'm going to need a sip of wine for this.
Yeah, no, we probably, all of us probably been the one who broke up with somebody, but also been broken up with. Of course, it's not easy either way. Probably easier to break up, but you don't want to hurt somebody else. So anyway, let me ask you, Jeff, how do you handle breakups? And are you usually the one to break up or to be broken up with?
Well, usually, obviously, being who I am, I'm the one who does the breaking up.
Of course.
No, we're all. That's the what's interesting, especially when you get to your 40s and you're single. You've whether you're single or you've been engaged, you've been married and divorced. Everyone has been on both sides of it, where you have really been in love with someone and they maybe were in love with you and then faded, or maybe early on you've dated, gone out maybe a dozen times, and you were into them and they weren't as into you maybe initially, but then after 6-7 dates they're like, eh. So I think everyone is human and been on the same side, and it's I think if you have a heart, if you're a good person, either way, unless that person has done something very, very nasty to you, it's easy to part ways. But even if
and even then, sometimes not. I know people stay in really bad relationships.
Oh yeah, well I do too. But as far as in general, though, I think it's difficult to part ways with someone, and it's difficult to, obviously, if you're the one who has feelings for someone and they don't share the same feelings for you, that's difficult as well. So it's never easy either way.
How do you handle it? Like, are you, okay, I'll talk about me. How do I handle it? The more important thing. No, I'm kidding.
It's all about Doc.
It's all about Doc. No, I mean, I will admit I'm usually either the one who breaks up, or sometimes it's mutual. There've been I have been on the receiving end of somebody who has, you look at me like, all right,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mean it like that. But I have to go like almost to a spiritual place, and I don't want to get all religious and spiritual, but I am a spiritual person. I'm not like a real religious person, like I go to church, but I believe that everything happens for a reason, and that everything that happens to us, like, we can learn something from to be a better person, not just a better person, but to grow spiritually. And so I guess I always approach them like, if my heart is broken, or I don't get what I want, or so-and-so breaks up with me, I just go to the place of, well, I guess it just wasn't meant to be, and something better is coming, someone better is coming. Like, whether you're, I don't care what religion you are, if you believe in a higher power and some sort of plan maybe for your life, you have to say, I hopefully believe that something better is coming, or someone better is coming. And it doesn't really, yes, it makes it easier because you're being positive. That's what I'd say, positive. But it's not that I don't get sad. I've been through a divorce, and even though it was a mutual thing, it was very difficult, but also, it was difficult because the fantasy of what I thought we would be together was shattered. It's not that I thought that we should continue, because we really weren't compatible, but I was just sad mostly about the death of the dream of, what I thought we could have been. But after I grieved, I had to just kind of move to this place of, it's probably for, it is, I knew it was for the best, but I also knew that something or someone better is coming. And so I think so many people really get bogged down with all the negativity and the rejection. That's the thing. the rejection. When you're broken up with, you feel like there's something wrong with you. And that's not true. It just means that you weren't compatible with that person. You know, that's how I process breakups.
Mhm.
So would you agree that most people kind of take it personally? I mean, you know, if somebody rejects you, how can you not, right? You know?
Well, yeah, I think, and that's all part of our fun banter here. I'm one of those open book, wear my heart on my sleeve type of guy.
Right,
So
yeah.
if I go out with someone a couple times and it evolves into more where, you know, you go on 1 date, 2 dates, but you don't know what's going to happen. Once you start going 3, 4, 5, 6 times, that's where, as we've talked about before, the friends with potential. Because I don't think it's ever good to. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good to leap into something, but I think it. But you can see after you've gone out a few times, you're like, well, maybe this is something that could evolve into something. So, and when it, at least on my end, and I've talked to you about this actually over the last few months. Last year, I got to know someone who I hadn't dated in a while since I broke off an engagement it's been about 2.5 years ago, and I started dating a friend of a friend, and we'd never classified it as dating, but we had been dating we'd gone out on about a dozen dates, and we were attracted to each other, and we had fun together, but I knew she was going through a lot of issues, and I knew she really wasn't right for me, but I was having so much fun in the moment, and I'm one of those, even though I consider myself an intelligent guy, I sometimes overlook, and this was a separate category, a separate segment of we talked about red flags and checkered flags. There were a lot of red flags up here, and there were a few checkered flags, and I overlooked the red flags, and because of the checkered flags, and racing fans understand that.
Yeah, I didn't really get the checkered flag thing. I know the red flag.
If you're a NASCAR or Indy 500, but but I think it's human to you like the checkered flags, and because it's so difficult to find someone that you are really into and you think they're into you, you're willing to overlook some things, even though that's not a wise thing to do.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about that?
Well, I say that's another show topic about red flags versus checkered flags. But yeah, I think because we're gonna have to wrap this up, we're kind of almost at our time limit. But let's just end with the question of, if you break up, should you still remain Facebook friends with your ex and or friendly in real life? Like one guy that I used to date many years ago, he and I are still really good friends, but not everybody can make that work. And you know, the exes or your current person you're with gets jealous about it, even if it's just nothing but you haven't blocked them on Facebook. What do you think about that?
Okay, but
we don't have much time, so come on. Wrap up.
I've read a lot of stories about how, from professionals, because I devour reading topics about communication, and everyone says it's not a good idea to be Facebook friends with someone that you have had a breakup with, because that delays the moving on process, as far as because you're always going to be curious. Oh, what is that person doing? Well, why is she doing that with him and she never did that with me? As far as activity,
Yeah.
Or why it's just. I personally don't think it's a good idea, but I don't always follow. I'm one of those.
And I think that there's no good answer to that. I think that you're right. For most people, that it is hard to see them move on, or your new person will be like threatened by them or whatever. But I think that if we all kind of move to this emotionally mature place where you can say, well, it wasn't meant to be, and even if this person is with somebody else, so be it. It's for the best. I wish them well. Or, if you're maybe the person you're with is friends with an ex on Facebook, say, well, there's a reason they broke up, and if they want to go back to them, then have at it, because you're not meant for me then. You know, I think that we get so insecure about that kind of stuff where I wish that people would be a little bit more emotionally and spiritually mature. And it's hard, you know, because we don't like rejection. But, you know, I think that the more self-reflection we do and the more secure we become in ourselves, the less that we're affected by rejection, you know, because, you know, you think you're, you know, Mr. Stud, of course, which you are. But, you know, being rejected... No, really, like
Well, we're all human. We all
want to.
We all
be
want
wanted.
when we feel some feelings for someone, we want to have them reciprocated.
Right,
yeah,
right.
That's the word of the day, reciprocate.
Right.
But that's a good word because we want everyone wants that, and obviously that's why there's so many self-help books and shows, and relationships aren't easy, and
But they should.
we never get
it.
There's never any clear cut. You never know whether you're going to be into someone and they're into you for the long term, or whether that's short term, or that's why one of the reasons we have this show.
Right, it's the beauty and the mystery of life and relationships, and you know, I think at the end of the day, you know, breakups are never easy. Whether you're hurting someone or they're hurting you, I think we just need to remember to maybe not take it personally. And if you're a spiritual person, a religious person, you know, it's easier to take it to that level of saying, well, it's not my person. You know, there's someone better coming. You know, it's hard to do sometimes, but I think if you reframe it like that, it'll be easier. So, well, I think we need to wrap this up. So thank you everybody out there again for joining us. We really appreciate it. We hope you have enjoyed this and learned a little bit in the process. So, we will see you next time. Come back.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Live, Laugh, Learn TV, and we hope you'll come back next time and the next time and the next time. And Jeff, why don't you tell them where to find us?
Sure. You could find us on our YouTube channel and on Facebook at Live, Laugh, Learn TV. And feel free to visit us online at livelaughlearntv.com for ongoing fresh content and articles.
So thanks again for joining us, and don't forget to live, laugh, and learn.
Bye-bye.
Bye.